am. I'm resigning tonight. I'm going to say the truth. No, listen. All right. Jim, do you have how many times to come in to present? All right. Pauline, we're not going to have our regular meeting. We're going to present to the presentations.
First, I would like to introduce Mrs. Materzo. If you could introduce the student.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to introduce our student government president from the Lakewood High School, Ebony LeBoy. She will be attending the board meetings as the student representative each month from now on, starting next month, but she wanted to come tonight as she was just voted in a few days ago, early last week. She's a member of our National Honor Society, an excellent student, and she will be an excellent addition to the board members and also a good support for the students. So we'd like to welcome her.
Okay, our next presentation will be, beginning in September, I started a Superintendent Recognition Award, and this month I would like to recognize a Lakewood High School student. This student is a young man whose weighted GPA is a 3.9, whose class rank is 29 out of 255. This young man is in the National Honor Society and plays football and basketball. He is outgoing and enjoys weightlifting. This student is described by all that know him as a true leader, respectful and eager to learn with an incredible work ethic. The student is described by all that know him as, sorry about that. This student received All-Conference Defensive Player of the Year and is being recruited by colleges and universities such as William & Mary, Bucknell, Monmouth University, Villanova, Fordham University, UMass, James Madison University. What impressed me most about this student is that when I asked his coaches and teachers about him, they all said the same thing. They said Tyrese Beverett is an even better person off the field than he is on the field. Congratulations, Tyrese. Okay. Last month, after Georgia Court University spoke about the district's parent academy, a couple of students approached me after the meeting to thank me for allowing them to take part in a Georgia Court University Step Ahead program. The Step Ahead program allows high-achieving high school juniors and seniors the opportunity to earn college credit by attending Georgia Court University while still attending high school. I would like to ask the two students, who I know I'm not going to say your name correctly, Jagisha Patel and Anika. I know I killed your names. All right, can you both come up here? The two girls were very excited and they would like to share with you their experiences in the Step Ahead program.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Speak into the mic. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Jagisha Patel, and I'm a senior at Lakewood High School. I'm planning on attending either Boston University or the College of New Jersey after graduation. No matter where I go, Lakewood will always remain as one of the most memorable places for me because the diversity in this town and the people and their hard work have actually become one of my motivational factors. And it's this place where I've learned to value myself and others around me. As far as Lakewood High School goes, we have a good administration and some incredible teachers and counselors. One name I cannot forget to mention is, of course, our Vice Principal, Mr. Riley. As a student, I'm impressed by his consistency and his dedication to Lakewood High School. Secondly, our counselors. You know, I did not realize how much counselors were needed until I hit my senior year, and I had to go to the guidance office almost every single day saying, hey, I'm thinking about this college, what do you think? And they're always very positive, and it's a wonderful staff. Then our teachers. There may be a few teachers who come only to work, but we do have many dedicated teachers, and most of the teachers I've had were very encouraging and understanding. As an athlete of our school, one thing I must mention is the sport I play, tennis, because it has become my new love lately. Sports are fun, absolutely agreed, but the lessons you learn through them are worth much more than the fun. Apart from the front and back end skills, I've learned the power of focus and emotional control. And this was definitely not possible without the two amazing coaches I've had, Mr. Pizella and Mr. Witzke. They're not only dedicated as coaches, but also as mentors, and they have encouraged me to move into a positive direction. Sometimes I didn't know what I was capable of until Pizella would say, "Come on, Diggs, you can do this. I believe in you." And such little things from coach would leave a huge impact on me and led me to do what I wouldn't have done otherwise and discover my potential. In short, the phases I've gone through in high school via friends, teachers, and tennis, I've gained self-confidence and respect for myself and others, and I feel that Lakewood was the perfect place for me. Now, I will hand over to my classmate, Anika Aguaya. Thank you.
Good evening, board members.
Good evening.
Me and my fellow classmate, Jigisha Patel, we enrolled in a STEP PED program for summer one. Our class was Life and Human Biology, and it was taught by Dr. Gimel. We stayed there for 6 weeks. It was pretty tough, but we made it through, and we thank our professor for teaching us. We learned about topics such as body systems, genetics, all throughout the whole body. 6 weeks was a rigorous program, but we are very grateful for it, and we thank Jordan Court for giving us the opportunity to enroll in this. Also, we appreciate the Jordan Court for giving Lakewood students especially opportunity to do all this stuff. We came home late at night, 10 o'clock, the classes, 2-hour lecture and 2.5-hour lab study. Came out late at night, went to school the next day for the first 2 weeks. That was very tough, but we made it through anyway. We earned college credit, which will help us in the future, and we all are considering applying to Jordan Court, even if we don't actually make it there or choose a different college. We still consider that as a good place because it has a good environment, good facilities, and has Division II sports, which is an A+ because we like sports. I love soccer, so I'm looking into that. We also miss events such as summer, like senior graduation, a lot of stuff, but we really appreciate the program, and we do encourage other students to take part in this program because it helped us, and it built character and built responsibilities into us. So we believe that they should continue what they're doing because it's a good thing.
Before we actually start the meeting tonight, I want to tell you, I've been on the board for 2 years now, and this by far, with the presentations, the football team and everybody else who's here, this is the best board meeting we've ever had. Everything's out the best.
Before I bring up the football team, I'd just like to thank, I know you guys watched the movie, and thank Mr. Pasqua from Lakewood High School for making that tape, taking the time. So I'd like to thank him. At this time, I would like to honor the Lakewood High School football team. Over the past 4 years, this football team has endured and overcome many obstacles. Instead of giving up, they worked together to create a winning team. This year, you have won honorably, lost gracefully, worked with each other, respected authority, and maintained your grades. You took pride in yourselves, your school, and your community. I believe I speak for all of us when I say you have made all of us very proud. Thank you for restoring Pioneer pride in all of us. At this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Craddox and Coach LJ if they would come up to the mic. If you would introduce your coaches, please.
Mike, everybody here. Coach Evan Bobbles, Coach Jamil Jackson, Coach Alan Mura, Coach Lou Pecorelli, and Coach Clay.
Got your hand up for something. So
Again, I just want to thank the board, the administrator, the guidance office. They've been a big help. I want to thank the coaches. I want to thank the kids, but also people who don't coach football, Coach Holm and Coach Drumright, because they also forced the kids to play other sports other than their sports, and that was a huge success. You know, and I just want to touch on a couple of things you said. Not only are our kids good football players, they're great kids. I mean, Lakewood gets a bad you know, press and all this stuff. Every kid in here is a great kid that plays football, and that's from the bottom of my heart. There's not one kid in here I would trade in any other school. I was telling Ms. Paterzo today, more than half our kids made the honor roll. I mean, Tyrese has a great GPA. We got Marquise has a 2.8. Mo has a 2.8. Ari's third in his class, our center. He's on the National Honor Society. We had Chappelle Cook made the honor roll this market period. Ben, he's got a 2.7. It's not just Tyrese. It's a whole group of kids from the top, from the seniors, from Herbie White to Marquise Oliver and Tyrone Wimberly. They're our captains. And we had great leadership this year. And I just want to thank everybody in this room, because it only doesn't happen with these guys, it happens with everybody here. I mean, the game, Miss Winters and Mr. Craddock's got the whole field fixed. And that was a big game, because if we didn't win that game, we wouldn't have made the playoffs. So it was a team effort, a total team effort from Lakewood School District to the programs. And I just want to say thank you to everybody.
Just to say a word, we want to congratulate Coach Clark and the coaching staff. We really are very proud of the young men, student athletes, which we've stressed that you're student first. I'm really grateful for Principal Stewart and this outstanding board that have stood behind these kids here. And basically everything I've asked of you to help them, you've really cooperated with us. We thank Ms. Winters. She's really been there and accessible. We thank the parents that have come out again and supported the kids. And we thank the community as a whole, because this is Lakewood. We're working together, and we can see the result of that, and we're teaching a life lesson to these kids that no matter how low you are, if you're willing to have a work ethic, if you're willing to have pride, if you're willing to set a goal, if you have the right leadership, which I think we do have, that you can do anything that you set your heart to.
How many players are coming back next year? Good, because we want the state. Nothing less than the state next year.
I just want to, real quick, we had 4 kids make all conference this year.
Great.
Tyrese Beverett made it for safety. Stand up. Detrell Reed, who actually got hurt in gym class, he made it. He's a sophomore. Marquise Oliver made it, and Tyrone Wimberly.
We actually have certificates for everyone and a cake, so we cut the cake, but we did take a picture so you can see the cake look like, just to save time, so. So when we call your name, you can just come up. Stephen Acosta. Harry Aguilar. Ryan Arias. Amir Bell. Tyrese Beverett. Joseph Calhoun. Solomon Cox. Sean Conover. Sean Conover. Anthony Cook.
I'm gonna give it to your brother.
Thank you. Chappelle Cook. Devin Delaney. Maurice Dior. Victor Figueroa. Jay Sean Fisher. Oliver George. Jay Sean Hamilton. Jockwell Hunter. Kai Jones. Marquise Joshua.
Guys, I love about steak too.
You see how he's looking?
Joseph Paredes. Darius Morrow. Alex Martinez. Navate Montgomery. Isaiah Nicholson.
Anybody else?
Kevin Oliver.
I need you to pass one down to that.
Marquise Oliver. Marquis Paisler. David Patterson Jr. Michael Randolph. Detrell Reed. Luis Reyes. Eric Sadiq. Christian Tate. Anthony Terry. Justin Thomas. Pierre Tyler. Ben Watson. Herbie White. Tyrone Wimberly. And Javon Wright.
Mr. Turzo.
It was good. I've seen it all along. I've been busy. Yeah? Yeah. This is good. Yeah,
All right, Arlene, you want to please start the meeting?
Pursuant to provisions of Chapter 231 of the laws of 1976, the Open Public Meetings Act, Mr. Shada notified the public by notice of the date, time, location, and agenda of this meeting to the extent known was provided at least 48 hours prior to the commencement of the meeting in the following manner. For hosting such notice on the public announcement board of the Lakewood Board of Education offices and the Lakewood Township Municipal Building, by mailing such notice to the offices of the Asbury Park Press and Star Ledger, by filing such notice with the board secretary, by mailing such notice to all individuals who request and pay for a copy of same. Roll call. Mr. Munn is absent. Mr. Schwartz? Here. Mr. Silver?
Here.
Mr. Greenspan? Did he leave? Mr. Friedman is absent. Mr. Tiff?
Here.
Mr. Slatkin is absent. Mr. Seitler? Here. And Mr. Fink?
Here.
You have a quorum.
First, may I just say one more thing? How many football players really want to stay here? How many would really like to go? Coach Clark, if you would like to take the football team, you can, they don't have to sit through this. Unless they really want to.
Yeah, the bus driver, she's warming up the bus right now.
We just thank everybody for showing up, and once again, congratulations, job well done.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night, thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, I discussed it.
If everybody, after we get done with our meeting, there is extra cake, so if anybody would like to have a piece of cake before you depart to go home, we do have extra cake, so feel free.
And his birthday cake.
And his birthday cake. Joel's 62 years old.
And Mr. Slight's birthday.
Oh, yeah, forgot. 18.
I remember.
All right, let's go on.
There is a revision for addendum 1 for student ID 171425. Resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools that the Board of Education continue the suspension of the student on home instruction pending alternative placement. Be further resolved that the student be placed in an alternative program to be determined by the superintendent for the balance of the 2012-2013 school year. And be it further resolved that the superintendent will review the matter and make recommendations to the Board of Education regarding the student's continuing education following the 2012-2013 school year. And be it further resolved that the student is not permitted on any Board of Education property and is not permitted to participate in the sports, extracurricular activities, or any other school-sponsored events during the period of his suspension and alternative placement. Addendum number 2 is pertaining to the student ID 161241, and it's basically the same as the first addendum. And also there is an addendum 6. Be it resolved that the Lakewood Township Board of Education hereby accepts and approves the negotiated settlement of the litigation pending before the Superior Court of New Jersey, Ocean County, under docket number OCN C000-219-12, and be it further resolved that the settlement agreement shall be executed in form satisfactory to Board Counsel, and be it further resolved that the Board President and Board Secretary are authorized and directed to execute the settlement agreement on behalf of the Board. And be it further resolved that the Board's administration and Board Counsel are authorized and directed to take all necessary and appropriate steps to implement the aforesaid settlement agreement.
And board members, that was the EAG lawsuit.
I have a resolution to read also. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approves the use of Thomas D'Ambola as a consultant in the area of business affairs at the per diem rate of $596 for a maximum of 25 days, subject to the terms of the contract to be executed by the Board President in a form satisfactory to Board Counsel.
Is that the amendment?
Steve?
Whatever it makes it.
Okay.
Can I ask a question about these things, or are we in discussion yet, as far as the thing stuff?
Have they been moved? I don't think.
No, we haven't done that yet. Do you have public comments first?
Yeah, yeah, public comments, yeah. That was first. The board? Mr. O'Bain?
Bill Hoppin.
Mr. Hotman, sorry, I don't read your name. Mr. Hotman.
Good evening, Bill Hopgood, here in Slim. It's apparent that the Lakewood School District is on the move. This was an inspiring night. Students attending Georgine Court University for college credits. Football team that is making wonderful, wonderful strides. Your president even calls for state next year. Maybe wishful thinking, but there will be a day when they won't. Now, I'm so thankful that this board is spending their time and effort in the administration to get things under control, going in the right direction, because startup and turnaround are the two most difficult things to do in business. And school districts are a business. And therefore, what you've done is taken a relatively dysfunctional entity, looked at the issues, prepared a plan, began that implementation on how you're going to do that, why you're going to do that, what's important to the students, the parents, the stakeholders. All those people that are going to depend on the next generation of people to come out of their educational process or continue that and or go into business or industry and be the next leaders. What a wonderful job. And I thank you so much for it. And one of the other things that I wanted to do is say I would so much like to have a meeting at some time or another, whenever it's convenient, to just discuss some issues that concern me, and it's dealing right with page 7, 28,000. The second item, $28,000 for 2 days of various workshops. I have no idea what that is, but it seems like an extraordinary amount of money.
Mr. Hunter, what page is that again?
Page
It is, I'm sorry, it is page 9, item 2.
Page 9, item 2?
13.
Page 9, after 13 is approve the following consultants to provide professional development
Oh, I got
workshops. Now, the second item on there is, it looks for, $28,000. The school is the Lakewood Kiter for various workshops on the 28th and 29th. Now, that must be 2 full days of exciting curriculum. That comes to 24 a day. It's unusual. I come out of a business environment where we had wonderful seminars and things like that, and unless you were at a wonderful hotel, it didn't cost as much. And I don't know whether the dollar is right, wrong, or different, but I'm saying it sounds extraordinarily high for Title 118. The other one is the third from the bottom is Lakewood Taylor for $3,417 for Lakewood Crater. That just seems unusual to me. I would think that that would not be on a consulting basis as opposed to regular curricular activity. But then again, I have no way of knowing because, quite frankly, there's not enough information here to tell me. I wish I had.
It was just told to me that, well, yeah, this is from the non-public administrative fund, but it was just told to me that I believe on the first one there's 80 presentations, 80 different people making presentations from that.
Let me explain. No. 80. What it is that it's a workshop.
Well, there's 3,600 students in
you
the
have
school.
to pay per person that you're sending to that workshop. And every school, if you notice, there's other schools there that have the same thing, depending on how many people are attending the workshop. Lakewood Crater has 83 teachers that they're sending to that workshop, while Tajbar only has about 10 or 15 or whatever the number might be. The Lakewood Crater has 3,600 children in it, and it's the largest non-public school in Lakewood. That's why their numbers are always going to be higher. That's
okay, that makes sense, but I would think it'd be appropriate for a little note on the side to say, for those of you that
don't understand,
don't know, here's a hint as to the dollar amount. And I think that that's very appropriate to do with expenditures like that.
Can you make criticism if you go forward?
Just to follow up on Mr. Hunter's question, which is great, is there a pre-registration number that we have in order for you to come up with this number? Or at all?
It's non-public, you don't get no.
We do receive backup. There will be sign-in sheets, there will be
That's what I'm saying.
bills. No, there will be backup. We
Being
just
the
don't
ones that's
have
paying
it.
it, how do you verify that every teacher from every, you know what I mean, who's going, is it, but how do they come up with the number? That's what I'm saying, is there a pre-registration?
This isn't, I don't believe that this approval is to pay. This is just an approval to allow them to attend, and if they provide a backup, they'll pay it. If you look at the following consultants provided as needed throughout 2012.
Yeah, but I understand that, but I'm saying, where do they get the dollar amount from? I'm saying, where do they get that dollar amount from?
Oh, it's a per child.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. How do they know how many is it going to show up if the meeting's not going to take place? How do they know who's going to attend based on a per person number, so I'm
So
saying.
basically,
No, the
what
school
they're
knows
saying
what they're
is
sending.
80 to 85 teachers are attending, that's what they're saying.
I'm saying, so there is a pre-registration process, so they already know.
They know what they're saying,
Yeah, they
that's how
know.
they
Oh, yeah.
determine the
That's
price.
what I'm asking, okay.
Sure.
Thank you.
So in Mr. Tiff, you're right on, that was the concern.
Yes.
Wasn't that part of the audit to say, you know, how do we know what we're paying is correct? And we know with Title I students, this is the name of the student, what the issue was, what the lesson was. But in a case like this, we should have some way of balancing an invoice back to a registration form.
Yes. And I believe that's gonna happen.
If we, I mean, an auditor could look at that and say, okay, we have 200 instructors, and therefore, at X dollars per instructor, I feel, in my professional opinion, that the invoice is correct. The absence of that, we're still sitting here with the idea that, how do we know?
Bill, the business office does have now policy, and correct me if I'm wrong, Arlene, where everything has backup to it now, as far as purchase orders go. So I guess after the workshops are completed, we will have backup.
They don't get paid, Mr. Holiday. They will not get paid until we have the backup.
Correct. No one gets paid anymore until we have backup.
Actually, if you see on the addendums, we actually submitted approval to pay a CPA that will look over the bills just for that particular.
Thank you, Ms. Hodges.
Okay, and thank you, Mr. Tiff, for helping clarify that you were right on point on that.
Thank you.
And again, you know, these are not, my question is not an attack. What it is saying, let's be very, very transparent, and a little note on these kinds of things would help so much. Thank you very much. Good work. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Mr. Wilson?
Did you change your name for tonight?
I know I saw you back there.
Good evening.
Good evening, Pastor.
Ms. Winters, this is the first time that I get to see you since your appointment to superintendent. I just want to congratulate you. And the board for, you know, we are moving forward. Last night, I sat proudly in my living room and I watched one of Lakewood's products hit the winning shot on the mixed team last night. And, you know, just sitting here tonight, you know, you guys didn't see the game last night?
Yep, Knicks. Buzzer beater.
Yeah, buzzer beater, right? That's Lakewood finest right there.
Oh, yes.
Huh? No, J.R. Smith.
J.R. Smith.
Yeah, from Lakewood. Y'all didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
I knew that.
I knew that.
I knew it too, actually.
I knew that.
Yeah.
I'm big in for next week.
You grew up here? or went-
Yeah, went to school, Lakewood.
He graduated Lakewood High School.
Graduated Lakewood High School.
Oh.
Did he get drafted there for college or did he went straight to the?
He played 3 years in the pros, went to Europe and came back.
If I may say, and I say this as a graduate of the University of North Carolina, where J.R. Smith was going to attend, he went directly to the pros.
And
He actually opted out. Yeah, he went directly to.
that's right, went straight to the pros.
Went to Europe.
And sitting here tonight and watching those, you know, these boys just had a great year. And sitting with my grandson tonight, helping him do his homework before I came here. You know, there's a sense of recovery going on. Spoke to a teacher today also, because I sort of been out of the loop. I don't know how many of you guys know that my son just went through kidney transplant. My other son donated a kidney to him, so I had 2 children in the surgery at the same time, and they are now recovering at home together, 2 brothers. So I sort of been out of the loop for a little bit. So today I spoke to one of our teachers, and I just asked, how are things going? And she said to me, things are going so much better. You know, she says we are regaining a sense of pride in coming to work every day. So I just want to say thank you, and let's keep the ball rolling. And once again, we want to we commit our support as partners in making this recovery happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Good.
Shame on you guys for not knowing that.
I knew that. I'm gonna watch the replay.
Okay, I need a motion for the business administration. Oh, we have one more change to the agenda. Page 12, number 2, the consultant crossed out non-public, and the account was changed to 11-000-219-390-13 and 0000. Okay.
I've actually had a question about that. I have a question for that. Is that after or before?
And also, addendum 3 is, there is no addendum 3.
The fee, $375 per hour. When we get these, even though it's not public, I don't really think it really matters. Is it a bidding process?
I do an RFP.
An RFP?
For consultants.
And this is probably one of the cheapest ones, or how does that work exactly?
Well, if you look at their service, that's probably the average price.
That's like the average rate?
Right.
Trained by profession.
Joanne, can you express the message, please? Thank you.
I also, for the parents that are here, I forgot the young lady's name. The young lady's name. Omida. There was a situation last week before we vote that regarding the free and reduced lunch. So I'm glad some parents are here because she was kind of going to explain the process of exactly how that works exactly. Because there were some complaints that I got from PTO members saying that when the district cut off the students, or I should say the parents, who didn't turn in their free and reduced lunch forms, there's actually a process on how that happens. It just doesn't happen just like that. There's state guidelines and regulations, and there's what the district does. And, you know, she explained to it better than I would, but the district went above and beyond the amount of time span in order to allow the time for these students to turn in their free and reduced lunch tickets. So if you have time for a quick minute, that she could just explain the process and how that works for any parents that may have some concerns about that. Thank you.
Hamid, I know you have someone else from Sedesco. I met him down in there. If you would like to come on up and introduce yourself, it would be our pleasure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Casey Schiller, Director of Business Development. And when she was telling me about how the football team was getting honored tonight, I was just in the area. So I just wanted to come and show our support. Thank you. And congratulations for that. That's a great honor.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you for your support as well.
I'm not sure if there was any specific questions, but I'll review the whole process with, first of all, I'm Armina Caldwell. I'm with Sedexo, I'm the General Manager for Food Services here in the district. And every year we begin a new process with lunch applications. So if the student was in the district from the year prior, they can retain their lunch status from June and it'll roll over to September. In September, I believe we started a little bit earlier this year, we send out new applications and the parent has to fill them out, put their income down, and then actually the process is completed here at the board office. I just run the food side of it with Sedexo and we're on the receiving end of how the applications are processed. So the process is done and it goes through. We had a setback with the storm this year, but every year the state gives you about 5 weeks to process it. So at the end of 5 weeks, technically, you are supposed to turn it over. So if you don't have an application process from a student within that 5-week time and they were free in June and now we haven't received it and it's the middle of October, technically that student will become paid because we have no more new information on their lunch status. Lakewood Board of Education every year extends that timeline. So we'll give ample time for parents to fill out applications. There's a direct certification that's done multiple times, and a direct certification, if you're directly certified, is free from the state, then anybody in that family is entitled to a free lunch. So I take direction from the Board of Ed, and when the Board of Ed says that they feel that they processed all of the applications, then they'll tell me, and then they'll do what they say is called flip a switch. So if a child is free and we haven't seen an application, they'll go to paid. At that time, in the cafeterias, we will begin, we have a charge policy, I should say Lakewood Board of Ed has a charge policy, which is the child's entitled to charge 3 meals at the point of service in the cafeteria. And at that time, in K through 6, if 3 meals have been charged, our staff has been directed to replace a hot meal with peanut butter jelly or a cheese sandwich, so they will get fed. That's if they have charges outstanding on their account and they are a paid student. At the middle and the high school level, the policy states that the child will not have a lunch and that they will have their lunch taken from them if they have more than the 3 charges on their account. Now, my department, we send out letters home constantly. You owe us money, and this will stir a lot of stuff. The parent will come back in, they'll find out that maybe the application wasn't filled out properly, or maybe they didn't submit one at all and somehow it didn't get happened. But we do feed the children at the elementary level, we don't turn them away, and then at the middle and high school, it was felt that they were responsible enough to, you know, take care of that and bring the money in. So since we've done this on November 20th, we've come about, you know, to find a lot of people that should have been free, so they're reprocessing applications here at the board office. If it was a mistake that was made or something happened, we'll credit the account, they won't be responsible for the monies that are owed, and then they'll move on from there. But the policy still stands, there are quite a few outstanding balances right now.
Thank you very much for that
Thank you very
explanation.
much.
I truly appreciate it. And I'd also like the community leaders out there to really encourage the parents to at least fill the form out. You know, I get the form, I fill it out, even though I know I don't qualify. But that's still money that comes into the district. Even if they don't qualify, still fill the form out, because those are numbers that the state they need to see in order for us to fund it. So I would urge all the community leaders to urge your members to, you know, fill the forms out and get them back as quickly as possible. Thank you.
Gus.
Gus?
I'm not understanding what the contract that we're awarding for 33 days, 46 days.
Page 7.
All of them are starting on page 4. What's it?
For which?
I don't know, there's a lot more than 33 days left in the school year.
I just need to see it.
Are these new kids, are these new schools, like, what's going on?
Page 4?
Okay, well, page 4, I see some of them are for like these athletics, which brings me to the next question. How come one trip was for $1935, the next trip was $5,500?
Wait, you're talking about you're talking about, those are bid seasonal contracts is what you're talking about. And when we go out to bid, we go out to bid based on the sport or based on
Oh, it's not just one time, right?
Oh, no, it's for the entire season.
Okay, it says on Tuesday, November 27th at 10 a.m. Oh, that was okay, fine.
All right, and the quotes that are for specific days, we may have in fact gone out to bid. We would prefer to bid out certain items. So if there's a...
Let's see, you have I, M, N, L, oh no, sorry, L, M, N, and then you got R, S, T, U, V, what are all those?
The contract was for, I believe that was for a particular a route that we are doing. I honestly, that one I really think is for the balance of the year. I'm not sure why it's for 33 days. I'll have to check with Janice on that, but
A lot of them are like that.
yeah, I see the 33 days. Oh, I know what it is. I understand now. What we've done is we've put a sunset date on the quotes, and we're going to be going out to bid. So what we've done is we've extended them out to the time. So we're going to actually go out to bid for those routes as opposed to a quote. The quote is something you do on a short-term basis. Arlene can talk about
What was
that.
the emergency for this?
What would the emergency be?
Yeah.
Well, we had to either come up with some additional routes as after the beginning of the school year because of additional students or whatever it was that required it. But these are, as you can see, they're OWs, they're one-way routes, they're afternoon routes, and those are...
Are these split routes?
These are not new split routes, these are from the beginning of the year. She's catching up on some paperwork that was from the beginning of the year.
This was already done, you're saying this?
Yes, this is stuff that was done since the beginning of the year. And again, what I had asked her to do is to put a sunset on it so that we could bid it out. The quotes are only going to be for a certain period of time, then we're going to have bids.
So what I'm saying is these quotes really are retroactive, is that what you're saying?
Yes, they're not new. This is not new work. This has been going on since the beginning of the year.
So the 33 days is long past.
It may be, or it may be coming to its sunset now. Our mission is to bid out the work, not quote it. A quote is something you would try to do.
When you bid, I'm just trying to figure out what we're voting on tonight. So this is work that was already done in the past, almost finished, looks like most of it. And it was just done because it came up right in the beginning of the year. This is not anything new, in other words,
There's nothing new. We're not asking you to split. Since our last meeting, we're not splitting any work. We have told all the schools that.
Okay, now let me, I got that, I'm sorry to cut you off here, but these numbers, are they already included in the transportation budget for this year?
Yes, they're in the budget.
The money is encumbered already?
Yes.
Okay, so this is not new encumbrance?
No. This isn't, the purchase orders are done, and these are all things that we're currently doing.
Okay, so, okay.
In order to generate a purchase order, you have to encumber the funds, and the funds have been encumbered.
Chris, I have a question for you.
So they've already been paid, you're saying?
No, not paid. The funds have been encumbered.
Okay.
Is the transportation department, are you